Witam was serdecznie, misjaczki, w kolejnym odcinku ze Starfielda. Ciekawe, co ta mapa pokazuje tak w ogóle. Czy to są gwiazdy? Chyba nie, to jest... Tam się coś w środku niby... Nie wiem.
So, are you ready to get to work? Or was there something else? Not much, but you've seen them for yourself. It doesn't take a lot to realize we're dealing with something extraordinary. Just what that is, we'll have to figure out. It's what we do.
Okay.
I don't know what you've heard, but I can imagine. First of all, I think you can dismiss any stories about us no longer existing. I don't believe in smearing our name everywhere we can. Exploring the universe, charting the unknown, that's what counts. Besides, having a little mystery gives us room to maneuver. A fixed reputation could fence us in a lot of ways.
No ale skąd to finansujecie?
We're explorers. Humanity has always hunted for knowledge in the unknown. We just take that a little more seriously than others. We were founded decades ago by a man named Sebastian Banks. He wanted a small group of people from all corners of the settled systems dedicated to the biggest question of all. What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. Another great secret the universe is asking us to unravel.
No dobra.
We're going to be doing some old-fashioned detective work. The artifacts are relatively inert once they're out of bedrock. That means people can pass them around, not even knowing what they are. I've been letting my contacts know to be on the lookout for strange metal objects. Get back a lot of noise, usually. But a tip from the UC Vanguard sounds promising. Jumping to anthropology on me already? Oh, well, good. We all need our own reasons to be out there. But it's not just that. I want to take this opportunity to see how you handle yourself, and for you to learn more about us. I'm going to be sticking with you for this. We'll be traveling together until we either find an artifact or this lead runs dry.
No dobrze.
You mean besides the ship, the robot, and a place to stay all rent-free? We do have some funds we can disperse from time to time. Not to mention, I think we can get you a proper suit. We're explorers. We keep a lot of equipment on hand for that purpose. So the more you work with us, the more we can share what we have.
No dobra.
We'll need to head to Mast. Check in with the Vanguard recruiting office where my contact works. And listen. Whatever you were before, or whatever you do once you're out there, I don't care. So long as you don't bring UC security to our doorstep. Every member of Constellation is their own conscience. Understood?
Okej, czyli mogę robić nielegalne rzeczy.
I mean, Constellation has a roster of members who haven't always been on the right side of their respective society. We're risk takers. Some of us have seen the inside of a jail cell more than once. If you join us, it means you're committed to our mission. In exchange, we give you latitude in your choice of means.
No dobra.
Good. Let's take a little stroll through New Atlantis, shall we?
No dobrze.
As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers.
Another round of invoices.
That was intense, wasn't it?
No.
The artifacts, I mean. Sorry, this must all be a little overwhelming for you right now. I guess a lot overwhelming, now that I think about it. I'm Noelle. It's really nice to meet you. And thank you for bringing the artifact to us.
Nikt nie chciał go kupić.
Your sparkling personality is why we love you. The credits are just a bonus.
Oh, right, that. If we're approaching this rationally, I suppose we'd call them visual and auditory hallucinations. What you perceived as lights and music could be overloaded neural input, your brain's attempt to make sense of something. An energy surge, some other phenomenon. Sure, I'm not trying to suggest otherwise. I wasn't there when it happened. I'm just thinking it through.
To źle myślisz.
It's okay. Now that this has happened to both you and Barrett, we can know to maybe expect it in the future. Be a little more prepared. We're all in this together now, right?
Dobrze.
Of course. There's plenty of planets out there that no one has ever set foot on, and everything we learn about them is valuable. We have a board where we post anything specific we're looking for. A type of alien flora or fauna, or a planet with a specific quality, like if it's primed to have life but doesn't yet. Oh gosh, no. I mean, that's flattering, but really, we're making this up as we go. Until you arrived, we only had the two, and the vaguest sense that there was something more at work. There's still so much we don't know, and that means a lot of work ahead of us. Well, right now, nothing's off the table. Metallurgical analysis, chemical composition, I'm looking at everything. One thing I'm really trying to improve is my overall database of xenobiology. I don't know if it will help in this case, but the more we know about, well, everything, the better off we are, right? Speaking of, if you're going to be out there looking for more artifacts, you're bound to come across some interesting specimens. Anything organic, I'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Aha. Dobra.
There's a galaxy chock full of resources. The more data I have, the more thorough an analysis I can do. And if it sweetens the deal, I can pay. Pretty well, too. Walter's pockets may not be bottomless, but they are pretty deep.
Czyli to Walter wszystko finansuje. Ciekawe dlaczego.
Planning on sticking around then? Good. I think we can find a spot for you. And along the way, I can give you the very abbreviated tour. Right. So you've seen the library, obviously. Walter is quite proud of the collection, but Mateo has made more than a few contributions. Gardens are out the doors there, if you need a moment of quiet contemplation. Emphasis on the quiet part, at least usually. Let's head upstairs.
Czyli tu są ogrody.
Installations founder had this place built decades ago. It was a big to-do at the time, but most people in the city have forgotten we're here.
Greetings, Walter Stroud. How may I assist you?
Oh, no, I don't need anything. Just, checking in.
At present, all systems are functioning well within established parameters.
Right. Well then, keep up the good work.
Of course.
Mhm.
I have been given no alternate instructions.
So this is the bar. Usually no tender, so help yourself, within reason, of course. Now let's see about that room. You're in luck. We were almost at max occupancy already, but there's still one room up for grabs. It's been nice having the place so full.
Stacja gotowania. Tutaj można gotować. Okej. Okej, to mój pokój.
Okay, this'll be you. Common room on one side, so that'll be quiet, and Mateo on the other side, so maybe a little less quiet. I'm sure Sarah has something planned for each of us, so I'd better get back to it. Don't want to keep her waiting too long. Enjoy!
Jasne. Moby Dick. Okej, czyli to po prostu Moby Dick. A cóż by to mogło być innego, skoro się nazywało Moby Dick? Alkohol. Roślinka. Ops. Nie rozwalamy, to chciałem. Pudło na zegarek. No dobra. Pokój jak pokój. Nie mam nawet telewizora. W ogóle niech ktoś mi wyjaśni, jak to jest możliwe, że w 2330 roku nigdzie tak ciężko o telewizor albo jakiś projektor. Wydawało mi się, że telewizory powinny być wszędzie. Ekrany powinny być wszędzie. O, jak miło. Nie. O, stateczek. Dobrze, a to inny stateczek. Fajny kontrast. Foldery, zszywacze. Hantle. Otwierasz do butelek. Stylizowany wentylator biurkowy. Piłka baseballowa z ziemi. Baseballowa z ziemi. Taliak pluszowy. Ksenotuliś. Talia kart, gra planszowa. Jakaś siłownia bardziej, albo miejsce, gdzie rezyduje ktoś, kto lubi wysiłek fizyczny. O! Farmaceutyczne. Stanowisko. Co możemy na nim zrobić? Bandaże. Leczy kontuzje, rany szarpane i kłute. Dobra, zróbmy sobie
Nice work. What else are you going to make?
ze dwie. Unieruchamiacz. Okej. Ja nie wiedziałem, że takie kontuzje można mieć. Nam się przyda. Więc jak tak sobie radośnie skakałem, to mogłem sobie na przykład... Jakie fajne! Podoba mi się. To mogłem sobie na przykład kopyto złamać. Poduszki na podłodze? Nie pytam. Dobra, to jest nasz pokój, to zamkniemy kulturalnie. I wracamy. Bar. Flaszki. Dracula. Dziennik Jonathana Harkera. Świetna książka, polecam. Dobra. A dlaczego nie mogę kliknąć dalej? No nieważne. O powstaniu gatunków. Moby Dick, wielkie nadzieje. Dziennik Livingstone'a. Ops. To chyba historia. Vasco, tak. To Livingstone jakby to odnowił wszystko i postawił, tak? A czy tutaj nie powinno być masy butelek do picia, tak jak w każdym barze? Tylko tak z boku dwie buteleczki stoją? Czemu tam nie ma pełno alkoholu? No cóż. Co my tutaj mamy? Uuu. Okej, czyli to jest pamiętnik jakiejś laski. Dawnej przewodniczącej konstelacji, dobra. Dlaczego to ważyło 0? Nie wiem. Raport Clark Lewis. Oj, oj, oj. Martwi ludzie na statku. Zniszczenie statku kolonizacyjnego. Kanibalizm. Na traktorze to nie dostrzegłem tego z zewnątrz. Przegrody po prostu zniknęła, zniszczona. Dobra, wyniki z Helem o zerwaniu sabotaż, wada nie wiadomo. Okej. Czyli nie znamy powodu, dla którego oni się tam wymordowali. Fragment wpływającej przemowy Banksa. Jestem bardziej pragmatyczny. Przepraszam. No dobra. Trochę historii. Jeju, przepraszam za moje gardło. Trochę historii tej konstelacji całej. No tutaj byliśmy w tym kibelku. A, dobra. Zamknięte. Tutaj byliśmy. Co tam w ogrodzie jest? Nie, w zasadzie nic. Chciałem pobyć sam i pomyśleć. Musi ze mną wleźć wszędzie? Hehe. Cześć.
Well, I suppose calling you a rock breaker may have been a bit out of line. I am sorry I besmirched your chosen profession and made assumptions about your character. My frustrations lie more with Barrett, not the first time his shenanigans have jeopardized one of our ventures. Not fair of me to take it out on you, especially since it would seem he made the right call this time. So, let's start over, shall we? Walter Stroud, CEO of Stroud Eklund, member of Constellation, and oft-times grumpy old man.
Nie, teraz to ja przepraszam.
By the way, in addition to a place to stay, the Lodge has a wealth of modification and research equipment. Spacesuit customization, pharmaceutical manufacturing, testing alien substances, the whole thing. You can even fashion industrial pieces for large-scale projects, if you don't mind extracting a few raw resources from a nearby planet, that is. I'm a fan of self-reliance, so I encourage you to make use of the tools we have to build what you need.
Potrzebuję Gwiazdy Śmierci.
We're most well known for ship manufacture. No expense spared. If you want the best and can afford it, you choose Stroud Eklund. Unfortunately, our success means you'll sometimes see Stroud Eklund ship modules on less than reputable vessels. They covet them. The bastards. I've tried to convince the United Colonies we can help in that regard, but they're married to Deimos Star Yards, and those old salts are stuck in the glory days. Funny thing about companies, you build one sturdy enough, it doesn't need you there all the time to prop it up. Stroud Eklund functions quite well on a day-to-day basis, leaving me time to devote to more esoteric pursuits. For years, I was captivated by the writings of Constellation's founder, Sebastian Banks. I finally decided to do something more than admire from a distance, and so now I call the Lodge home as much as anywhere else.
Okej.
Up until very recently, I'd likely have dismissed it as, I don't know, hallucinations. But now, I'm not sure what to think. I don't suppose you have a history of this sort of thing, do you? Well, clearly the sarcasm center of your brain is intact. I'm no scientist. I leave that to the likes of Barrett and young Noel there. But I think we can all agree there's something unusual going on here. Frankly, this is the most exciting thing that's happened in years.
No dobrze.
Me? Why, I'm the wallet.
No to.
Someone has to fund all this, and all my success in business doesn't mean much if I can't put it to good use. I don't pretend to have the daring of Ms. Morgan, or the smarts of young Mateo, but I can make sure that they have the resources they need. And, as you've now seen, those resources aren't being wasted. We're onto something big here.
Znaczy masz większą odwagę od niej, że majątek swojego życia poświęcasz na fanaberię bandy wariatów.
Goodbye. Feel free to help yourself at the bar. I don't drink, but I feel like if I did, now would be a good time for one.
Are you doing okay? I'm not sure anyone really asked yet. Don't want you to think we're focused on the artifacts and nothing else. You matter too. You've done something really significant bringing that artifact here. I'm Mateo, theological scholar by trade, but now, well, an explorer like you. It's really good to have you with us. Second one was on Kazal, buried the same as the one you found. But the first one, right under our noses for years, sitting in storage, masquerading as an oversized paperweight. Can you imagine potentially the greatest discovery in human history collecting dust? I'm not gonna lie, I really wish I could have seen this for myself. It's hard to judge otherwise. Both you and Barrett saw something. I don't think that's a coincidence. Did it feel like it was trying to tell you something? I don't want to necessarily use the words divine revelation, but, you know, if the label fits.
Raczej nie. To będzie pewnie jakiś artefakt obcej cywilizacji.
That sure lines up with everything else about these artifacts. It's all connected. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. We just need more data, which means more artifacts.
No dobra.
Well, there was some overlap in interests. I'd spent years searching for religious relics from human history. I had made a really incredible discovery, only to lose it to a greedy corporation. So I tried to steal it back. In the process, I met Walter. Turned out he owned the corporation. After a long talk, we realized we had a lot in common, and I was invited to join Constellation.
Czy jesteś złodziejaszkiem teologiem? Okej.
I hope Barrett makes it.
Idziemy.
I know he gets into trouble all the time.
Idziemy leść. Gdzieś tam. Gdzieś tam. W sumie chwila. Jedno mogę zrobić. I to mi odjęło punkty, tak? Czy nie? Cholera, nie zwróciłem uwagi. Będę musiał obejrzeć na filmie później. No to potrzebujemy, tak? Tego potrzebujemy. Perswazja. Potrzebujemy jeszcze jednej perswazji, żeby ją rozwinąć. Dobra. O! Jak to działa? To tak tylko, że tylko działa? Jestem rozczarowany efektem. Jak mam być szczery. Gdzie mam iść? O! Miotła. Lewituje chyba. Gdzieś tam. Takie bardziej do lądowania niż do przemieszczania się gdziekolwiek.
Welcome to Mast. If you have an appointment, you may proceed inside.
Ładny widoczek w sumie. A, kojarzę te budowle. Piękny widoczek, jak mam być szczery, jak się wychodzi, wchodzi.
Now, you all have your assignments. Get out there and show them what the UC is made of.
Dobra, idziemy tutaj. Ale to będziemy sobie już kontynuować w kolejnym odcinku i z nim sobie w kolejnym odcinku pogadamy. Dziękuję Ci za dzisiaj. Wam się podobało? Dajcie lajka, dajcie suba i napiszcie w komentarzu, co Wam się podobało, a co było do luftu.
Another space explorer. Hey, you ever think of joining up with the Vanguard? Help the United Colonies, earn some credits, even get your UC citizenship?
Nic nie kliknąłem. W każdym bądź razie. Adios.